Albany, New York. Kevin, your opinion counts. Go ahead. You're on the Savage Nation.
Mr. Savage, yeah. The way I see it, I don't think the government should have any say in your love life, whether you be heterosexual, bisexual, homosexual, whatever it is.
Let's stop right there. You're confusing issues. This is not about love life. This is about marriage.
Okay. Well,
what is the purpose of marriage? Do you have any idea what marriage as an institution is designed to do? Let's go back to that. What is marriage designed to do?
So I would say unite two individuals. The way it's now,
to create a bond between man and woman so that they hopefully have children, so that society doesn't die off. Wouldn't you say that's a simple definition that is somewhat true?
That could be true. But you don't need marriage to reproduce. Like
most liberals do and not get married. Yeah. That's right. They can copulate and produce children.
You're right in that society kind of...
Well, we're not talking about liberals who don't have the guts to marry a woman and raise children. We're talking about people who take a commitment to marriage in order to raise children. That's the fundamental brick of civilization called the family. So what this is about the family at the end of the day.
Okay. The thing I don't understand is how would the homosexuals getting married affect a heterosexual family?
Well, they don't affect the heterosexual family directly. In that regard, the argument is a false argument. The fact of the matter is that homosexual marriage degrades a weakened, time-honored institution.
Okay.
It degrades what real marriage is. It mocks real marriage. The destructive effects may not be immediately apparent, but the cumulative effect of attacking the time-honored institution of marriage is inescapable.
Okay. So you're saying marriage is a sacred institution then?
I think it should be. I certainly do think so. It's always been so.
I could agree with that. I'm assuming you're coming from like a Judeo-Christian value set.
I'm not ashamed to admit that. Yes, that's part of my religious teachings. Yes.
Okay.
That's part of my religious teachings. Yes. Yes. Should I be ashamed of my religious upbringing? I mean, shall I hide that now in the new the new world of Obama, where religion is now suddenly as evil as pornography was 50 years ago? It seems pornography is considered to be more wholesome than religion is today under Obama.
But the issue is, I have looked for this, and I can't find a passage in the Bible that says it's between one man and one woman. There are plenty of... Well,
that's because people weren't insane 5,000 years ago. They didn't need the further definition. I mean, no man who was gay 5,000 years ago would have wanted to be married. Why would he want to be married? Tell me what the reason is. Explain it to me.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you there.
Tell me why a man would want to marry another man. Tell me the reason for that, other than to mock marriage itself.
Well, if he's homosexual, then that would be his own deal. I mean, I'm not, but if that's what he wants, then that's okay with me.
Well, that's because you're a young person who's been brainwashed into accepting virtually anything, no doubt.
I wouldn't say that. What I'm asking you is, I mean, you just made a comment about how that was 5,000 years ago and this, that, and they didn't need an extra definition because it does come. There are rules in the Bible for dealing with inheritance issues for a man who has more than one wife. So, were you raised in any religious belief yourself? Roman Catholic, yes.
So the Roman Catholics, do they accept homosexual marriage?
Not as far as I know. No, the church doesn't.
Should Roman Catholicism be made illegal by Judge Walker because it violates the constitutional rights of homosexuals? Should Roman Catholicism be banned?
Oh, you're misunderstanding me. I don't agree with the judge's decision.
No, I'm asking you. Isn't that what's coming next?
As Roman Catholicism being banned? I don't.
Yes, sure, and Judaism as well.
What I'm asking...
Why not? Because it discriminates against gays. Why shouldn't these religions be made unconstitutional?
Because
inherently, morality discriminates against somebody, doesn't it?
There's a right to practice your religion.
Well, but not if it discriminates against certain subgroups. And then, therefore, the religion should be banned, shouldn't they? Rabbis should be arrested. Synagogues closed down. Churches closed down. Mosques closed down. Buddhist temples closed down because they all support traditional marriage. That's a violation of the Constitution, according to Judge Walker.
Well, no, because the religion doesn't have any say in the law. The Roman Catholicism...
What do you mean it has no say in the law? It does. The religions all teach that marriage is between a man and a woman. Every religion on earth teaches the same thing. Marriage is between a man and a woman. So therefore, they're teaching discriminatory policies, aren't they?
There's no passage in the Bible that states that marriage is between one man and one woman, though. See, that's
you mean marriage could be between a man and a frog, according to the Bible?
It doesn't, but it does state that polygamy is okay.
Have you read the Bible recently? Because you're wrong about that, Kevin. The Bible's very clear about what marriage is. It's so clear that it doesn't have to spell it out for people who don't even understand the difference between a man and a woman.
Where does it say that it's between one man and one woman?
My friend, you know and I both know you're begging the question. You're begging the question, and you know you're begging the question. The issue is not about the Bible. The issue is about one judge nullifying the votes of 7 million people. Does that not disturb you?
It does disturb me, but Mr. Savage, you asked me how I felt about the gay marriage issue. And so
how you felt about the marriage issue. So you don't really care who gets married in your own personal thinking.
I care who I marry, but anybody else, it's their business. And I don't think anyone should have any say in that whatsoever.
So let me ask you a question. When I got married many, many decades ago, I had to take a Wasserman test to make sure that neither I or my future wife had syphilis. Are you aware of that? That there was such a thing? That a government was so draconian that they wanted to make sure people did not have syphilis before they got married? Can you imagine I grew up in such a Stone Age culture?
You must be pretty old.
Do you think that the state has the right to determine whether or not individuals are diseased before they get married or not?
If that disease can be passed on to children, I could see it, but I'd have to learn more about it.
All right. So you could see some state involvement in a religious precept of marriage. So therefore, you've nullified your original argument that religion should have no effect upon a marriage.
As far as it affecting other people, the people being...
In other words, the state has a distinct obligation to protect itself as a society by enforcing laws which uphold the society itself. And the brick of all civilization is the family. So the state has a distinct obligation to support those laws which support the brick of civilization, which is the family, not to undermine that brick of civilization. That is why they had tests for diseases in my day. But today, apparently, diseased people can get married.